Mayor, I'd like to call to, ooh, there we go. Mayor, I'd like to call to order the regular meeting of the Elmwood Park Mayor and Council for November 21st, 2024, to order at 7:02 p.m. On roll call, we have council members Dennis. Here. Fasolo.
Here.
Golobeck.
Here.
Pellegrin.
Here.
Troisi.
Here.
Council President Sheridan.
Here.
Mayor Coletti.
Here.
We have a quorum.
Thank you. Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. How is everybody doing this evening? Oh, come on. That's a little better. Now we're all one. We have an interesting evening ahead of us. We got some presentations that we are going to be taking place here. So let's get started by everybody please rising for our prayer and flag salute. Oh God, our Father, we ask you to bless our meeting, which we entrust to your fatherly care and protection. Please remove all selfishness and prejudice from our hearts and implant therein a keen sense of justice and a greater love for you and our neighbors. Guide us in our deliberations so that our decisions will always please you and bring you peace and happiness to our community. Amen. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Whereas Chapter 231 of the Public Laws of the State of New Jersey require at the commencement of every meeting a statement of compliance be read by the presiding officer. Now therefore be advised that the meeting requirements for this meeting have been met by publishing a special notice in the Record and Herald News and by posting such notice in the office of the Borough Clerk, as well as in a public place within the municipal building. Also by notifying interested citizens. Said notice was posted and transmitted on January 6, 2024, and published on January 10, 2024.
Okay. First up, we have approval of minutes. We have the October 3rd, 2024 special executive session, October 3rd, 2024 work session meeting, October 3rd, 2024 executive session, October 17th, 2024 regular meeting, and October 17th, 2024 executive session.
May I have a motion to approve the minutes?
So move.
Second.
Call the roll, please.
First by Fasolo, second by Pellegrin. On roll call, we have council members Dennis.
Yes.
Fasolo.
Yes.
Golobeck.
Yes.
Pellegrin.
Yes.
Troisi.
Yes.
Council President Sheridan.
Yes.
Minutes approved. At this time, we're going to have a presentation by the VFW, who will be presenting a donation to the Vietnam Veterans Memorial.
Okay.
Are you gonna come? Are they?
You draw more money? Love these people.
Okay, on behalf of the DFW, the auxiliary, and, yeah, Harris here too, for the post. This is a check for the DFW Memorial for $2,100.
$2,100 says 21 on there. Really? That's what you just said? These people here, since the inception of this idea and now project that's in place, have been working their backsides off consistently. We have a small debt, which up to this point was $7,200. Now this brings us down to like $5,100. All that money was raised by these people and also other groups. We have the homeowners, we have Linda Cohen being here, has been very generous also. And all the veteran groups themselves have made donations. So I just don't want to isolate them from what we're seeing tonight, but these people deserve a lot of, we had 9 concerts in the park, and they were out there, instead of sitting back and watching the concerts, they were out there selling 50/50s to raise money for this statue. So this kind of team, I go on business with this team automatically. But when you say we give it up for them, we're going to have to find a new project now. Anybody want to speak? Anyone? Anybody? Nothing? No? Okay. All right. Well, good. Thank you very much.
Yes, there were people at the concert that, when they won, they gave it all back, which was amazing. So, nice.
It's been a long road. Yeah. 4.5 years to get to this point. And we have, if you stand here today and say that it was 95% paid for by private entities and organizations. Now we're at 98%. We still got that $5,100, and then we could proudly say that no taxpayer has spent $1 on that statue. It was all done in private donations. And that's not easy. That's not easy to do. But it sets a precedent. It tells the government here that we can all come up with good ideas. Every one of these people here and every one of those people here come up with a great idea. The next question is, how are you going to pay for it? And that's the example we were setting here by going out and getting the dollars from outside sources, not the taxpayer. It was a good thing, no? Thank you very much.
And we also tonight want to honor from Memorial Day from the parade, our 2 puppy girls. And we have 7 twins this year. So it's Alyssa and Rosalie. Come on up.
And they just turned 9 this week, right? Yesterday.
Could somebody explain to the audience what puppy girls are?
Go ahead.
The whole puppy thing?
Go ahead, I gotta get these out. Go for it.
All right, so the Poppy Girls, during the parade, they went ahead and handed out, they walked with us, the mile or so, the whole parade, and they handed out the poppies, and they were kind of our little spirits, along with another Poppy Girl and a Poppy Dog we had this year as well. But they handed out little poppies as a remembrance of the veterans who served and those who are no longer with us. So they handed this out, and they had a blast, so.
Here's a little gift for you.
And where do the
Hold this up so we don't.
funds go that are collected from the poppies? The veterans,
Thank you so much.
Yes, I think the poppies go back to the veterans, right?
Yes.
the poppy money,
Yeah,
the poppy
the
money
veterans.
goes back into the veterans?
Yes, everything goes back to that.
Goes into our relief fund, which we use
Theirs.
to help the veterans
Yeah.
for
And-
hospital parties and veterans in need,
And this program's been going on for how long?
ever,
Ever, ever.
forever.
Since like day one.
125 years?
Yes.
Wow, 125 years.
Yeah.
All right, well, like they say in Italian, Gindana, to these young ladies, that means you're going to carry on for another 100 years. Is that okay? One's smiling, the other one's not. You want to tell us about your experience a little bit? Has this been great for you guys or what? Yeah? Yeah. What is special about this whole moment? It's a great moment, right? Okay, you understand it too, right? You understand why you're here? Kinda, okay. No more questions. You want to ask me any questions? Get even? If you had one question to ask me, what would you ask? Do I have any candy? No, I don't. Yes, I do. We have candy in the back here. Do you have a question you want to ask? No? All right, I tell you what. We got a special moment here. You take this, and you take this, and I'm taking these two girls, and you're both going to be mated for about a minute. Yell at them like you yell at me, guys. No way. Okay, one at a time. Good picture? Go ahead, young lady. Go ahead. I believe this is the first female mayor in Elmwood Park.
Yes, she will, or they will.
Okay,
Miss Mayor?
you're welcome. Now you have something to tell you. Oh, you got to get up? You got to go now.
No, meeting adjourned. Bedtime.
Yesterday was your birthday and the twins' birthday.
9 and 18.
All right, so listen, we're having fun here tonight. Let me say we'll all join in and sing happy birthday to you. Sure.
All right, now I also have, for the Elmwood Park Police Department, Chief? Yes. I have a check for you for the holiday tour, yes. Well, not for you, but, it's not for you, but for the police department. You're very welcome. Thanks for the support. Lorraine, come on down. I have a check for you for the Residents Assistance Program, for the food pantry, and for your holiday toy shop. It's not much, but it'll feed and help somebody with your toy shop.
Thank you all, I
You're welcome.
really appreciate it, thank you.
And that's all on behalf of the VFW.
Thank you so much, really.
Thank you.
We want to thank the VFW for coming here tonight and bringing all this money with them. And going forward, I hope we can continue this process of helping people the way they help people. We
And
appreciate
if I
it.
can say, we really appreciate this, especially during the holiday season. Times are tough for a lot of people, and this will really go a long way, so thank you all for your generosity. Thank you. Appreciate it. Thank you. Thank you.
Thanks, guys.
Okay, at this time, we have a donation from the Homeowners Association. So I'd like to call forward Linda Colombini. I'm not sure who.
And Terry, right?
And Council President Terry Sheridan and Mayor Coletti.
And Councilwoman Campbell.
Oh, and Councilwoman Troisi.
On behalf of the Homeowners Association, we are honored to stand beside you and present you with this check in the amount of $2,000 for our fire departments and for our Ladies Auxiliary.
and we want to commend you on the outstanding work that you do for our community.
To give everybody an idea, what happens here is money will be split up among 4 companies, and from there will be split up into many things, building maintenance, pay some bills, personal protective gear, which we'd like to get. That's where it goes. And it enables us to go to the fire and put it out.
And on behalf of the work we all do as a
But
team.
I just wanted to clarify that it was for 5 ways, right? The
Yes.
courthouses and those.
And yes, that's what I said.
Okay, yeah. I just wanted to.
Yeah, sure, absolutely. Okay?
So, ladies and gentlemen, what we have here is we have one group helping another group within the town of Elmwood Park. This lady she's going to be a steady customer here. She keeps bringing money. To all these different organizations. I wait for phone calls from her. I figure every 2 weeks she's coming in with more money. There's another one. But it just goes to show you how we are community-minded and how it's important that we stay that way and all-inclusive here in Elmwood Park.
We all work together for this, our whole association.
A nice hand for these people.
Do you want to have them?
Thank you.
Thank you very much.
Council comments. Tanisha, we'll start off with you.
I just want to thank the VFW and the Homeowners Association for continuing their generosity to the borough, to our programs. It's really appreciated. Congratulations to our Poppy girls. Your work was great this year. We thank you for walking that parade route and doing all that stuff that you guys did with your poppies. And I just really wanted to wish you guys a very happy birthday. I hope you have an amazing year before you turn double digits, okay? Have a great school year and enjoy being 9, because you're never going to be 9 ever again. All right? Thank you, Mayor.
Thank you, Mr. Fasolo.
Thank you, Mayor. I also want to reiterate what Councilwoman Dennis said. Thank you to the VFW for their continuous support for our community and for all they're doing, especially during the holiday season, to give to the pantry and to the toy shop was very great. Also, thank you to the Homeowners Association. Like the mayor said, it's almost every week that they're doing something for our community, so I'd like to thank them. And happy birthday to the Poppy girls. You were great during the parade. That's it.
Thank you, Mr. Fasolo. Mr. Golombek?
Thank you, Mayor. Thank you, Poppy Girls. Thank you, VFW. Thank you, Homeowners Association, for everything you did to help move the ball forward in our community. Thank you, Mayor.
Thank you. Mrs. Tracy?
Happy birthday, Poppy girls, and congratulations. I would like to thank the VFW for their ongoing fundraising efforts for the Vietnam Monument and also their contribution to the pantry. Your generosity is very much appreciated. To the Elmwood Park Homeowners Association, once again, thank you for your generosity to the Elmwood Park Fire Department and Auxiliary. I'm sure the funds are going to go to some much-needed supplies, so we thank you.
Thank you, Councilwoman. Councilwoman Pellegrini?
Yes. A big thank you to Linda Colombini and the entire Homeowners Association members for their generous donation tonight. You do so much for our community, Linda, and all the members. It's unbelievable. You're back all the time, and you want to give so much, and we really, really appreciate all your hard work and everything you do to make this possible, all these donations, so thank you. And to our VFW for their ongoing donations to the Vietnam Memorial. It's a beautiful place to honor and remember all who have served. And as we all witnessed the day when we all went there for the unveiling, it was just a beautiful moment for our community. And we really remember what our soldiers do and really what it's all about. So thank you to everybody that's been a part of it. All these donations made it possible. And we really have a place to go now to honor all of our men and women who have served. So thank you. To the Poppy Girls, great job. Glad you can be here tonight, and glad you showed first and second woman mayor. I'm so proud of you. Great job. And again, to the VFW for their generosity to our food pantry and toy store. I can't even tell you what it means to us, and anybody that ever wants to come see our pantry or our toy store, please contact me. I'd like you to see where your money goes and what we do for those in need. You really, each and every one of you, make a difference in our community, so I thank you all. Thank you, Mayor.
Thank you. Council President Sheridan?
Thank you, Mayor. Happy birthday, girls. You did a great job. Thank you. As far as the fire department goes, thank you for your service. Thank you for keeping our town safe. My uncle was a fireman back in the day. I'm going way back. So I basically know what you guys do and you young ladies do, but I just want from the bottom of my heart to say thank you for everything. That's basically it. VFW, I'll see you next week.
Okay, thank you. Ladies and gentlemen, we're going to take a 3-minute recess. So if you want to stay for the balance of the meeting, you're welcome. If you have to run off someplace, that's also okay.
Okay. Mayor, I'd like to reestablish a quorum for the Elmwood Park regular meeting, November 21st, 2024. On roll call, we still have council members Dennis. Here. Fasolo. Here. Golubek. Present. Pellegrin.
Here.
Choisey. Here. Council President Sheridan.
Here.
Mayor Coletti.
Here.
Okay, we have reestablished a quorum. Just need to take a breath. Okay, moving on to ordinances on first reading. We have resolution R-355-24, introduced ordinance number 24-25 on first reading. Be it resolved that an ordinance entitled, an ordinance amending Borough Code Section 4-34.2, license required fees, expiration to allow an additional towing license, be passed and adopted on first reading, and be it resolved that a final hearing on said ordinance will be heard in the municipal building on Thursday, December 19th, 2024 at 7:00 p.m. or as soon thereafter as same can be heard, at which time any persons interested in said ordinance can be heard. Be it further resolved that the borough clerk be and she is hereby authorized to advertise in a legal newspaper a notice of introduction and final hearing as required by law.
Ladies and gentlemen, this basically is just allowing us to add an extra tower to our list. We have 6, we'll go into 7. May I have a motion on the ordinance?
So moved.
Any discussion?
I need a second. Okay, thank you.
Call the roll, please.
First by Fasolo, second by Pellegrin. On roll call, we have council members Dennis.
Yes.
Fasolo.
Yes.
Golubek.
Yes.
Pellegrin.
Yes.
Choisey.
Yes.
Council President Sheridan.
Yes.
Motion carries. Next, we have resolution R-356-24, introduced ordinance number 24-26 on first reading. Be it resolved that an ordinance entitled, an ordinance adopting Borough Code Section 26-13, privately owned salt storage to prevent stored salt and other solid de-icing materials from being exposed to stormwater, be passed and adopted on first reading. And be it resolved that a final hearing on said ordinance will be heard in the municipal building on Thursday, December 19, 2024 at 7:00 p.m. or as soon thereafter as same can be heard, at which time any persons interested in said ordinance can be heard. Be it further resolved that the borough clerk be and she is hereby authorized to advertise in a legal newspaper a notice of introduction and final hearing as required by law.
Mr. Foligno, would you mind breaking this down for us?
Yes, Mayor. This ordinance establishes requirements for the storage of salt and other solid de-icing materials on properties not owned by the borough, and it's to prevent the exposure of these materials to stormwater.
Thank you. We want to keep that salt nice and dry, right? Hopefully, we don't have to use it, but we want to keep it dry. May I have a motion on the ordinance?
So moved.
Second.
Any discussion? Call the roll, please.
First by Pellegrin, second by Fasolo. On roll call, we have council members Dennis.
Yes.
Fasolo.
Yes.
Golubek.
Yes.
Pellegrin.
Yes.
Choisey.
Yes.
Council President Sheridan.
Yes.
Motion carries. Next, we have resolution R-357-24, introduced ordinance number 24-27 on first reading. Be it resolved that an ordinance entitled, "An Ordinance Repealing and Replacing Borough Code Chapter 21, Shade Tree," be passed and adopted on first reading, and be it resolved that a final hearing on said ordinance will be heard in the municipal building on Thursday, December 19th, 2024, at 7 o'clock p.m., or as soon thereafter as same can be heard, at which time any persons interested in said ordinance can be heard. Be it further resolved that the borough clerk be and she is hereby authorized to advertise in the legal newspaper a notice of introduction and final hearing as required by law.
Mr. Floyd, no.
Yes, Mayor, this ordinance establishes requirements for tree removal and replacement in the borough. It's kind of merging two things together and just cleaning up some old language.
Thank you. Motion on the ordinance. Any discussion? Call the roll, please.
First by Pellegrin, second by Troisi. On roll, on roll call, we have council members Dennis.
Yes.
Fasolo.
Yes.
Golubek.
Yes.
Pellegrin.
Yes.
Troisi.
Yes.
Council President Sheridan.
Yes.
Motion carries. I don't know. Hold up. It's on, but I don't know if everybody can hear me. Maybe it's 'cause that one's on. I don't know. It's okay. I'll just project. Next, we have ordinances on second reading. We have Resolution R-358-24, introduced ordinance number 24-23 on second reading. Whereas the public notice has been given by the Borough Clerk that an ordinance entitled Bond Ordinance to Authorize the Acquisition of a New Pumper Fire Engine, including original apparatus and equipment, and by and for the Borough of Elmwood Park in the County of Bergen, New Jersey, to appropriate the sum of $1,490,000 to pay the cost thereof, to make a down payment, to authorize the issuance of bonds, to finance such appropriation, and to provide for the issuance of bonds, anticipation notes in anticipation of the issuance of such bonds, was introduced and passed at a meeting held on Thursday, October 17th, 2024, and that further consideration of this ordinance will be taken up at this meeting. And whereas all persons interested in said ordinance were given an opportunity to be heard concerning the same. Now therefore be it resolved by the Mayor and Council of the Borough of Elmwood Park that an ordinance entitled Bond Ordinance to Authorize the Acquisition of a New Pumper Fire Engine, including original apparatus and equipment, and by and for the Borough of Elmwood Park in the County of Bergen, New Jersey, to appropriate the sum of $1,490,000 to pay the cost thereof, to make a down payment, to authorize the issuance of bonds to finance such appropriation, and to provide for the issuance of bonds anticipation notes in anticipation of the issuance of such bonds, passed on final reading.
Ladies and gentlemen, this is for purchase of a new fire truck, but from what I understand, there's like a 3 or 4 year wait. So it's something that will be coming in the future. May I have a motion to open to the public?
Second.
Anyone from the public here to speak on this ordinance and this ordinance alone? If not, I will close the public portion. May I have a motion to adopt the ordinance?
Second.
Call the roll, please.
First by Pellegrin, second by Fasolo. On roll call, we have council members Dennis.
Yes.
Fasolo.
Yes.
Golubek.
Yes.
Pellegrin.
Yes.
Troisi.
Yes.
Council President Sheridan.
Yes.
Motion carries. Next, we have Resolution R-359-24, introduced ordinance number 24-24 on second reading. Whereas the public notice has been given by the Borough Clerk that an ordinance entitled, an ordinance amending and supplementing ordinance 21-15 entitled, an ordinance to fix the salary, wage, and compensation of the officers, employees, and servants of the Borough of Elmwood Park, County of Bergen, State of New Jersey, for the year 2023 regarding Chief Municipal Finance Officer and Superintendent of Public Works salaries, was introduced and passed at a meeting held on Thursday, October 17, 2024, and that further consideration of this ordinance will be taken up at this meeting. And whereas all persons interested in said ordinance were given an opportunity to be heard concerning the same. Now therefore be it resolved by the Mayor and Council of the Borough of Elmwood Park that an ordinance entitled, an ordinance amending and supplementing ordinance 21-15, entitled, an ordinance to fix the salary, wage, and compensation of the officers, employees, and servants of the Borough of Elmwood Park, County of Bergen, State of New Jersey, for the year 2023 regarding Chief Municipal Finance Officer and Superintendent of Public Works salaries, passed on final reading.
May I have a motion to open to the public?
So moved.
Anyone from the public here to speak on this ordinance and this ordinance alone? If not, I will close the public portion. May I have a motion to adopt the ordinance?
So moved.
Call the roll, please.
First by Pellegrin, second by Fasolo. On roll call, we have council members Dennis,
Yes.
Fasolo,
Yes.
Golubek,
Yes.
Pellegrin,
Yes.
Troisi,
Yes.
Council President Sheridan.
Yes.
Motion carries. Moving on to our consent agenda. We have the following resolutions. Resolutions R-360-24, approval of payroll. R-361-24, approval of bills list. R-362-24, Vietnam Veterans Memorial Change Order Number 2. R-363-24, approval of transfers. R-364-24, change in custodian of petty cash fund. R-365-24, award Cherry Hill Park paving. R-366-24, resolution to refund 25 Main Street Development. R-367-24, authorized vacation buyback. R-368-24, resolution to redeem third-party tax lien. R-369-24, resolution to refund overpayment. R-370-24, authorized execution of contract with Bergen County Department of Health Services, EAP. R-371-24, authorized execution of contract with Bergen County Department of Health Services. R-372-24, approve Elmwood Park Fire Department stipend program, third quarter compensation. R-373-24, authorized voiding of stale checks. R-374-24, resolution lien attachment to property known as Block 1011, Lot 5, 287 Market Street. R-375-24, resignation of firefighter. R-376-24, resolution to enter into a shared service agreement. R-377-24, appointment of firefighters. And R-378-24, resolution to approve the consent agenda.
Motion on the consent agenda.
So moved.
Second.
Any discussion? Call the roll, please.
First by Pellegrin, second by Fasolo. On roll call, we have council members Dennis,
Yes.
Fasolo,
I need to recuse on R-372-24, R-3-75-24, and R-377-24. Yes to the rest.
okay, Golubek,
Yes.
Pellegrin,
Yes.
Troisi,
Recusing on R-372-24, R-375-24, and R-377-24, yes to the rest.
okay, Council President Sheridan.
Yes.
Motion carries. Next, we have mayoral appointments. We have Eric Sampson, Planning Board member for unexpired term. Jeffrey Freitag Jr., Planning Board alternate number 1, unexpired term. Charles Ciani, Planning Board alternate number 2, unexpired term. Now for departmental reports, we have the Zoning Board meeting minutes from September 25th, 2024, Board of Health meeting minutes, September 9th, 2024, and the Library Board meeting minutes, September 16th, 2024.
May I have a motion to accept the reports?
So moved.
Second.
Any discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Thank you, council.
Mayor, this concludes my portion of the meeting. I will turn it over to you for council reports.
Okay, we'll start to the left once again. Councilwoman Dennis?
Thank you, Mayor. So the holidays approach us, and next week I plan on, first of all, tomorrow we plan on giving out turkeys, right, and hams to the residents of Elmwood Park. It's an event we always look forward to, and hopefully next week we're all able to sit around our tables with those that we care about and show the things that we're thankful for. But before we get there, I just have to address something. And excuse me while I catch my words. I have this thing, we have these privileges, and I always say to my family that I have this privilege to be here. And every time that I pray, I always pray for the strength to go through whatever path is put in my direction or whatever path I'm put on. And this year has been extremely difficult as we battle different challenges personally and professionally. At the start of this year, there were a lot of words that came towards the council. A lot of them were used called bullying, harassment, intimidation, hostile work environments, hate, bigotry. And it was saddening experience because I wanted to see us celebrate our differences, support one another, create community, and respect our differences. Um, and I'm having a hard time just being professional here for a second and not being too personal. But I'll just give you this, Mayor. When my child was in second grade, he was at Birchwood Park, and he was surrounded by a group of children who proceeded to call him all kinds of derogatory names, including one of his great friends. Uh, what happened after that was the lessons that we teach our children. It's zero tolerance. It's, I don't care how long we've known a family or we've engaged with someone, we don't tolerate a certain kind of disrespect because disrespect can permanently shut doors that apologies cannot reopen. I pride myself on holding myself, my friends and family, and those that I surround myself with accountable. I even sat down and I made a list of all the many hats that I wear, and I'm pretty sure we all sit in the same categories. But I'm going to tell you a few just so I can toot my own horn. And it's shocking, you know, but it's, you know, I'm a wife, I'm a mother, a daughter, a friend, a chef, a nanny, an Uber driver, a referee, a coach, a caregiver, a consultant, a cousin, a puppy mom. I'm Puerto Rican. Ooh, excuse me. I am loud enough. Shanae. Much better. Thanks, Shanae. Um, I am Puerto Rican, African American. I am an honorary Jamaican. I'm Catholic, a party planner. I'm the granddaughter of a Puerto Rican civil rights activist, a schedule coordinator. I'm a huge fan of boxing, basketball, golf, and football. I'm a councilwoman. I'm a personal shopper. I'm a woman. I'm an autoimmune disease fighter, and I'm a Democrat. And 2 weeks ago, I felt like I was under attack for being an African American councilwoman that was a Democrat. It was disheartening, it was upsetting, it was shocking because I raised my children in the bubble of Elmwood Park, and I blame the chief for that because the chief has created a safe environment within these square 2.5 square miles, whatever the number is. And my family, they walk around and they can address police officers by first name. They're not afraid to go outside in the dark and run around the park. They feel comfortable, and I always tell them that's not what the real world is like. The internet is a fake place. Everything on the internet to me is for show. And I try to teach that to my kids. We don't live on the internet. We don't live on Capitol Hill. We don't sit here and try to recreate the craziness that we see online. I'm disappointed that I was the target of someone else's, I don't want to call it hate. I'm going to say ignorance is the word I want to use because I thought I was doing the right thing and I thought I handled the situation in the best of my abilities at that moment when I approached and I addressed my concerns. And I wasn't met with accountability. I was met with the person doubling down on that. I was met with hostility, and there was reasons as to why they did that. Everything that happens after you're put on notice is a lot about your character and your integrity. And one of the things that I say over and over again, and my kids hate when I call them out by name, but they understand. You don't have to understand how I feel, you have to respect it. And I practice that with everyone that I come into contact with. And if there's something that I don't understand, I will question, I will educate myself, and I'll move forward. I don't sit here with the privileges that I have to make anyone else uncomfortable. I am not better than anyone else. I don't hold myself to a regard that I don't hold anyone else to. I don't appreciate the online attacks by people who are ignorant to what's going on in Elmwood Park within our own community. I don't appreciate those that are in power or elected officials to promote such hate or disrespect, and not only not take accountability for it, not understand how it affects other people. What I experienced here in Elmwood Park 2 weeks ago and for a week up after that, after I informed someone of how I felt, not only they doubled down on what they did, their family members started to repost it over and over and over again. It was like every time I went online, it was opening up the same wound, and it was frustrating. And it was more frustrating because I have children of ages that can see it. And when they start to question it, and when they start to not be comfortable, when they want to leave the bubble that we've created and the village that we have because they'll feel safer somewhere else, I cannot stay by and be quiet. It is not okay to judge anyone or for anything because we are no better than our counterparts. We have neighbors, we have friends that are battling illnesses. They have their quiet battles, the things they battle out in public, out loud. And I don't think I'm better off than anybody else. So it's hard for me to put myself in a position where I feel sorry for myself because I don't. I feel sorry for the generation of kids that see these things online and think it's okay to repost it over and over and over again. They think it's okay to say these things because the adults are showing them that this is what society is like. I coach a lot of young ladies, way too many 5-year-olds if you ask me, but I appreciate their parents for entrusting them with me and then leaving them with me, but it's fine. To know that we have elected officials that have influence over these young people and we don't hold ourselves accountable, I'm not sure what we're showing that generation. I can only hope that as my days on the council are almost over, we look back on July, I believe it's July 2023, this council passed a resolution denouncing hatred, bigotry, discrimination on all terms, and every council member up here sat up here and they agreed that Elmwood Park was not the place for this. And it is so sad and heartbreaking that over a year later, we're back at the same conversation with some of the same individuals promoting some of the same hatred within our community. It's just not okay. This is my story. I'm not here speaking on anyone else's behalf. I can allow everyone else to sit there and speak their experiences, but for someone to try to make me uncomfortable in the home that I created, in the town that I am privileged to serve, in the town that I pay a lot of taxes in, I just can't let it be quiet. It was a nice evening. The donations are appreciated. We always respect the VFW and the Homeowners Association for always being so generous. A year from now, I would love to watch a council meeting and ensure that this topic is not here again. A year from now, when election season comes up, I would love for the excuse not to be that emotions are running high. I would love to hear that we're holding each other accountable and we're celebrating each other for being different. And we can agree to disagree, but we can do it in an adult manner, in a respectful manner, where we're not attacking each other's family members, each other's gender orientation. We're not attacking our education. We're not attacking our racial divide. We're not doing any of that. We're supporting one another because this is a community that we all live in, and no one should walk around here feeling unsafe, especially when we have the police department that we do have. So I just want to thank you for allowing me an opportunity to speak my piece. And if anyone wants any of my titles, I'm gladly to give them up because I wrote them down and this list is just way too long, but I know I've missed a few. I only pray that the next generation will maybe watch this and get off of TikTok and Instagram and Snapchat and understand that this is your community, this is your home. There are adults that care about you, that want to see you thrive, and you have to do what you can do to make your neighborhood better. Thank you, Chief. Thank you, Mayor. Thank you, Council.
Mr. Fasolo?
Hey, Mayor, I'm just taking a quick
Yes.
So, Tanisha, I just wanted to comment. I know you referenced accountability and whatnot, and as you're well aware, there's been resolutions and whatnot, and there is a robust anti-discrimination policy in the employee handbook and what. You do know there's an outside referral been made for investigation regarding what occurred. So, in terms of the internal administrative process, the borough basically waits to see how that plays out before it takes any action. But I just want you to be aware that we're aware of that and that that's where we are right now.
I appreciate that, Cal. Thank you.
Thank you, Councilor.
And I guess one more point, and to that point, I would suggest that in terms of response by administration and others, be limited as a result.
Because of
to
the
allow the process to
investigation.
play out, exactly.
Okay, okay. Mr. Fasolo?
Thank you, Mayor. First off, I want to start by congratulating Councilman-elect Sampson on his victory this election day, and also Council President Sheridan on her victory. It's not easy running for public office. You take, as we could see, some unnecessary beatings in the public, but we do it because we love our town. And we do it because we have an investment in our town. We pay taxes in our town. We want to see our town do great things. I'm not sure if I can comment on what Councilwoman Dennis had stated, but as public servants, we're held to a higher standard. It's our responsibility to lead by example, to promote harmony, to ensure that everyone in this borough feels represented and respected. This isn't Washington, D.C. We should not conduct ourselves that way for our community's sake. And that's all I'm going to say on this topic. Thank you, Mayor.
Thank you. Mr. Gollenbeck.
Thank you, Mayor. Thank you, everyone, for being in attendance tonight. I too want to start off with addressing the election on all levels. Very hotly contested election. I wish all of our elected leaders luck, from the president down to our new senator and so forth. Here in Elmwood Park, Council President Terry Sheridan, you were reelected with the third highest amount of votes ever, so congratulations. Councilman-elect Eric Sampson was also elected. I congratulate him. As you know, everyone knows, Councilwoman Dennis and Sandy Balistrieri were not successful. But that's the process. We run the campaigns. Things are set on both sides. You run to the finish line, and there's a winner and there's a loser. And there's a responsibility that comes on being on the winning side, and there's a responsibility that comes with being on the losing side. And, you know, when you're on the winning side, you can flex your muscles. You can be very, very proud of yourself. You should be 1,000%. And when you lose, you can be upset, but there's a level of class that comes with that. And I thought we had that, and then, you know, one of our colleagues, you know, put a thing out on social media. I'm not a mind reader. I can't tell you what people's intentions were, but if opinions can split 50-50, whether or not it was appropriate or totally disgraceful and potentially borderline sexist, racist, then I think it's something to look at. This is not the first incident. This is not the first time. Everyone has freedom of speech rights, but I appeal to the mayor, to my other colleagues that have influence, that something has to be done. You know, we're here to do business. We're here to move the ball forward for the town. I've been in many strong arguments, strong disagreements, disputes with my colleagues on, regardless of the party, many a times. But it's all business. We do business. One side's argument wins, the other side doesn't. We get to the meeting, we vote, and we move on to the next issue. And that's just how this has to go. So, you know, all right, you have, you know, arguments over the year with a council member, and then they're not successful in the election. To post something like that is immature and childish. And I think it's important to note it is not the only time. You know, we all hear things. All things get to us. There have been numerous public incidents, meltdowns about why parking wasn't closer to an event, why certain people had to stand on a line to get into an event and other people got in. You know, everyone knows what's going on. And I appeal to my colleagues to do something about it. To do something about it. We can disagree and scream at each other about the business that affects the borough, but this other shit has to stop. It's just got to stop. It's got to stop. And I don't know who can make that happen. I don't know if it requires self-reflection and, you know, time away to figure things out, or whether it's people up here, people out there, or people that are watching it. But this shit has to stop. And that's all I have to say for now on this matter.
Councilwoman Troisi.
First, I would like to address the comment about waiting at an event, okay? Me and my family attended the Scare House event on the 27th of October. Me and my family got online and waited almost an hour and a half. As my family approaches the rope, I'm told, "I'm sorry, you'll have to go with the next group," which is fine. I've got no problem waiting, except instead of the next group going, the door was opened and another family was ushered in ahead of my family after we did the right thing, We got on the line. We waited for an hour and a half. So yes, this shit does not have to stop. I will continue to speak up when I see things that are not right. It might seem like a simple thing, asking for a favor to be let in ahead of everybody else, but what other favors are they asking for? I'm not the one sitting here asking for any favors.
You just proved every point I made. Thank you.
I want to address the council here before this gets out of hand. Let's all be and show dignity for each other. All right, the foul language I heard come from two council people. I don't want to hear that no more. I was brought up on the streets of Passaic, New Jersey, and I never heard my father swear once until I was 16, and he was chasing me because I played hooky at school. So I ask everybody to control their emotions because they're running high right now, and I won't tolerate it. I'll call the next person out of order if I hear any foul language or if anything that seems like it's inciting anything. Are you finished, Ms. Tracy?
I'd actually like to give my update. I'd like to congratulate Eric Sampson on his victory and Terry Sheridan on her reelection. Update for the rec, the registration for basketball closes tonight. There will be no late registration or walk-ins taken at the draft. A new bike rack was installed at Borough Field to provide a designated spot so people do not bring their bikes onto the turf. Surveillance cameras and bike signs have been placed throughout Borough Field for added safety and organization. Bleachers for spectators are in the process of being installed and on track for completion in the next 2 weeks. Preparations are underway for the turkey giveaway and the Christmas tree lighting event. Congratulations to Crew Soccer, U14, U15 boys for winning their division. The rec center will be closed November 28th through the 30th. And the next advisory board meeting will be held on December 16th at 7:30 p.m. Board of Ed, there's a single session on Wednesday, 11/27, and school will not be in session on the 28th and 29th for Thanksgiving recess. Next Board of Ed meeting will be December 17th at 6:30. Progress, Mayor.
Thank you. Councilwoman Pellegrin?
Yes, good evening, everyone. My Board of Health update. On Wednesday, November 13th, the rabies clinic for dogs and cats was held. 13 dogs and 3 cats were vaccinated. Their next regular meeting will be held on December 9th at 7 p.m. All are welcome to attend. My police update, our police department and the Residents Assistance Program will be distributing free turkeys and hams for families in need. The date is tomorrow, November 22nd. Time is 2 p.m. Location, Elmwood Park Recreation Center parking lot. The one free ham or turkey is on a first-come, first-served basis. Residents Assistance Program update. Last Sunday, the Azez volunteers raked leaves for over 30 homes in our Elmwood Park community. This was for our residents that needed some assistance. These volunteers have been with our program for 7 years. We truly appreciate all they do for our community. Also, a big thank you to our police department for assisting us that day. It was so appreciated. Lastly, I attended the 2024 League of Municipalities annual conference this week. There was a lot of great networking and valuable information was given. I will be sharing this information with the appropriate department heads. And also, my last thing would be on a joyous note tonight. Today, the Residents Assistance Program received a $5,000 check from Schwab Charitable, an anonymous donation. And we have an angel somewhere in this community or somewhere close to us, because a few months ago, we received a $10,000 donation from this same anonymous person. And I can't tell you what this means to this program. So many people are helped, and I know I say it all the time, but until you are at that pantry working, as I do and some of my colleagues do, you see the need. Some people have to choose between medication and food. So this is an extremely hard time of year with holidays approaching, because now they have to, get gifts for their children and put, dinners on the table for relatives. So this money really comes and handy to us. And I just want to say, whoever you are out there, I really hope that you see this tape and you know how really appreciated you are from all of our hearts up here for this program. You really, truly make a difference. Thank you.
Thank you, Council
Progress,
President.
Mayor.
Thank you. Council President Sheridan?
Thank you, Mayor. The Elmwood Park Homeowners Association is having a Halloween party Wednesday, December 11th, 6:30. Christmas party. I'm trying to think what everybody said here and trying to get my thoughts together. All right, Elmwood Park Homeowners Association is having a holiday party Wednesday, December 11th, 6:30. It's over at Justin's. I have a menu if anyone is interested. Contact Linda at 201-982-4919 by December 1st. And Thanksgiving is coming, which is next week. So I just want to say to everybody, before you sit down and enjoy your dinner, just be thankful for what you have, for what everything is. I mean, we got to be thankful for our town, for our police department, our fire department. I mean, just take a little setback and think about it. And happy Thanksgiving to everybody. That's it, Mayor.
Thank you. I'd just like to talk a little about the election. I think I have some authority on the subject. I've been through, I want to say, 25 campaigns and personally 10 elections. I was successful in 7 out of the 10 elections. And I was non-successful when I ran for Senate, New Jersey Senate, 2007, and once as a candidate for the Board of Education, and once as a council person. My point is, it's an ugly feeling when you lose. All the time you put into it, your family, the sacrifice, it's just a horrible thing. But you have to come to grips with it. You have to say to yourself, is this what I want? Well, I had my first shot at it, I had my second shot at it. Do I want to continue doing this? And if you have that impetus, then you move on and you grow and you come to a better place. But I say to anybody that loses and they feel good about it, you're a loser. You should not feel good about losing. And I say to the winners, my congratulations. Nobody should be gloating about it either way, and we should move on. One good note, well, we had a couple of good notes tonight, but this one here should brighten up at least our chief's face a little bit. I think it's safe to say that on the corner of Market Street and River Road, we got Major League Baseball coming in with a full-blown studio. They're going to spend $190 million to retrofit that building right here in Elmwood Park. I do want to say that the fellow in front of me, it was his baby, Mr. Foligno. He kept me in the loop all the time, but he worked diligently because he knew what this is going to do for well, not what we're going to do for baseball, but what baseball is going to do for Elmwood Park. So it's a great moment for our town. It's going to put us on the map, and that's it. May I have a motion to open the floor for public comments? Anyone from the public care to speak on any subject whatsoever, please come to the microphone and please state your name and address. One at a time, please.
Good evening. My name is Benji Wimberly. I represent you as your assemblyman for the 35th District.
Welcome, Benny.
Thank you, Mayor. I haven't seen you at Blue 42 in a while, but you know, we'll catch up soon during holidays.
Been busy being mayor.
I got you. And Councilwoman Pellegrini, I was at ShopRite today. I didn't see you, so I worry about it there.
But we got to make a date, make sure we rendezvous.
Definitely. So the one thing I would say is during my time serving at Elmwood Park, I've been greeted with warm arms, regardless of folks from race, creed, color, gender, religion. And I can say I'm a proud representative of Elmwood Park. It's pretty disturbing when, Councilwoman Dennis have to deal with such thing in this day and age. And many people may not know the racial, impact of something like that when it comes to your kids and stuff. I'm a father of 4. Unfortunately, over the last couple of years with social media and fake news and all types of stuff, our kids have been subject to stuff that people haven't seen for generations. And the term, by Felicia is very racially ignited. Felicia was a drug addict, black woman in a fictional movie. And nobody wants to be referred to as a drug addict, fictional person in a movie. There's nothing cute about that at all, nothing. As a African-American male, I think I have to remind people constantly here in America, even some of my own African-American brothers and sisters, that for 246 years, Africans served as slaves in America. 89 years, we dealt with segregation. 400 plus years of oppression. Millions were killed and died during the slave trade. Our women were raped. Our men were dehumanized. We have to never forget that. Slavery is the biggest stain in American history. You could try to ban books. You could try to, talk about DEI. There's no DEI when you put that type of price on the impact that African Americans have had on American history. We can't hide that. We can't ever make it go away. And unfortunately, our kids are subject to this on a daily basis because of the society we live in. I am somebody who has Republican friends, Democratic friends, independent friends, African American, Spanish, white, gay, lesbian, it doesn't matter. Good people are good people. And this is not a Republican Democrat thing. It's just about being a good human being, a good person. And Councilwoman Dennis does not deserve to be subjected to that. And more importantly, the kids of the Elmwood Park community do not deserve to be subject to that at all. And it has to really, that coffee table conversation of racism is destroying us. It literally is destroying us. I may not agree, like you said, Mayor, like I know you were very good friends with Congressman Pasquarello, and I remember me and him talking about you and talking about the relationship you guys had. It wasn't about Republican or Democrat. It wasn't about you being from Passaic or the Patterson or anything like that. It was just about good people. I could call the chief anytime, and he's there. And I never call him as Benji Wimbley, the Democrat. I call him this as an American citizen who needs what's best for our community. And understand that the words that you say sometimes that hurt people can never go away. They can never go away. The tongue has no bones, but it can break a heart. So be careful what you say. And this is not about losing or winning, because Tanisha Dennis is a winner as a person. Forget council, forget anything else. Her sister's my neighbor. We wave at each other every day. And I go there and I always think about her, but this young lady is a winner, a winner. And it should not be a stain on the history of Elmwood Park when it comes to racism, ever. And as a sister city, Patterson, I mean, you probably have so many former Patterson residents here that, like I said, when I come here, I'm at home. Please address this issue. I know it's in a situation in the right hands, but make sure this never happens again. Make sure that this conversation does not have to come back again. Regardless of who sits in those seats, your legacy will be there forever. So, Tanisha, I'm here to support you 100%. Elmwood Park, Mayor, Republicans, Democrat, I'm here for all of you, regardless of who you are. So please understand that. God bless you, and please do the right thing.
Jeff Carter, President, Bergen County NAACP. I was shocked when I was called to Elmwood Park, I guess a couple of weeks ago, with the situation that most people have addressed here. We are the watchdogs, the NAACP of the county. We will be watching. We will be looking. Racism has no place in Bergen County, and obviously racism is in Elmwood Park. It's nice to be eloquent, and everybody said eloquent, but I'm going to be real. And the reality is that, you all have some racists on this council, and one in particular, because you had to pass an ordinance, and then even after the ordinance, it still lives. That goes to the moral character of that person. And there's no other way to say it than the moral character. And as Assemblyman Wimberly said, our kids are watching. Some of the council people said our kids are watching. If people are here, I'm here to support councilperson, but Ms. Dennis. And we will be watching after she leaves. We will be watching Elmwood Park, because racism, again, cannot live here, should not live here. And when people's kids are demeaned by having to watch stuff on social media about a coach, a mother, a provider, a caregiver, moreover, a citizen of Elmwood Park who has given their time to be a councilman. I don't know what you all are paid, but you're never paid enough for the work, and you're here to help everybody in the town. You're not elected for one segment, you're elected for every segment. So we will be watching you all, and I hope that I don't have to come back, but I'm waiting to hear what the report is. And if we have to do some things like call a press conference and bring Elmwood Park out in the public for its racism, we will do that. Thank you very much.
Next.
Good evening, Council. My name is Chaplain Barbara Marquez. I live in Elmwood Park. This was really hard for me. The night of the election, I was actually asleep. My phone started ringing unstoppably. And it was residents from Elmwood Park, some Elmwood Village, some in other places. And they kept saying, did you see the post? How dare she do that? Why would she put something up like that? I had no idea what was going on. Someone sent me the post. I was mortified. The post was sent from a council person, Ms. Trocy. It was disgusting. Whether you knew or you didn't know, it was disgusting. I was offended by it. I was angry. The residents are angry. So I prayed about it, and I'm here to speak about it. Today, we're here to confront the serious problem that has plagued our society for too long, and that is racism. Racism in all forms is poison that corrodes the very fabric of our communities, leaving deep scars that can last for generations. Martin Luther King eloquently said, racism is a philosophy, a way of thinking that is old as humanity itself. It is a form of idolatry, a worship of a false god of racial superiority. Racism affects families. It destroys bonds, love, and trust that hold them together. It affects communities, creating divisions and mistrust that can lead to violence and unrest. Gandhi also said, intolerance is a form of violence and an obstacle to the growth of the true democratic spirit. When I looked at that post that you put up, I said, okay, it was an election. Somebody won, somebody lost. Tanisha lost with grace. There were no winners here if the outcome was this. The issue at hand is a pressing one, and the council must take immediate action to address the racist behavior exhibited by Pamela Trocy. It's heartening to see the community is standing up against this injustice, and it is essential that the council listen to their concerns and take divisive actions. Injustice anywhere is a threat to justice everywhere, and that was said by Martin Luther King also. The council must recognize that racism is a serious issue that affects not only individuals, but also entire communities. All these things are being said with the intention that the council must swiftly ratify this behavior from any council member. The very nature of racism is offensive and disturbing on so many levels and cannot be tolerated in our community. If the council does not remove Pamela Trocy from her seat, the message you will be sending is this behavior is acceptable and that there are no consequences for her disrespectful remarks on Facebook. But this is not the first instance when Ms. Trocy has behaved in an unprofessional and unethical manner on social media and should not be tolerated. Pain and suffering caused by this have reached the hearts of many in our community and to Mrs. Dennis's family, in which I apologize to you for this. Ultimately, it is up to the council to decide what kind of community they want to build. Do you want to create a community that values equality, justice, and inclusivity, or do you want to perpetuate a culture of racism and intolerance? The choice is yours. But the entire community will feel the consequences of your actions. Thank you.
Thank you, Ms. Barber. Your name, please, and address?
Good evening. I'm Dr. Suzanne Mullings from Englewood, New Jersey. I just want to say I'm glad that the Poppy girls are out of the building and didn't have to really sit and endure this dialogue. But it's unfortunate that other kids have to be here to witness such things that are not Elmwood Park business. Last meeting, that when this happened or it erupted, I'm just a little disappointed in you, Mr. Mayor, in terms of your response and your leadership to kind of put a cap on it. Now it's going to legal, so it's going to be a big deal. When Councilwoman Dennis stated that the information posted she found offensive with racial undertones, it's very simple to apologize for what was posted, to have a learning or teachable moment so that you can move on to conduct Elmwood Park business. But when we have to come to support Tanisha Dennis and her family, who is clearly upset by the words and the posts that were put up because they're offensive. So if people don't know about Elmwood Park and they have to come to Elmwood Park for things like this, that's not the Elmwood Park business you want to conduct. So silence is complicity. And last meeting, you had the opportunity, all of you all, to end it. Because if somebody posts something without knowing its impact and they're told of the impact, it's an easy fix. But when you double down that you're not going to do it, then someone else will double down, and it creates havoc in your town. And I think as leaders, you should do better. I'm here representing the Bergen County Black Caucus. I'm the president, and one of our missions is to increase the number of Black elected officials in our Bergen County. And if every time they are going to come across something that people don't know is racist, or they don't know the undertone, that's going to continuously become an issue. So I don't know how this can keep going on without it even having to be a legal issue. It's one of humanity. Just apologize. You hurt someone's feelings, and that's what we tell kids to do. And I'm going to end by saying this because I also serve as a dean of nursing, and today I interviewed a young woman who wanted to come into the college. And I asked her, what does she do in a stressful situation? You know what she said? I'll say sorry. I said, would you say sorry even if you weren't wrong? She said, yes, because that would give me the leg to create the environment I need to deal with the stressful environment or situation. So that's what I want to say, and I think you could do a better job to put a cap on it where everybody feels comfortable serving the public. It's not something that is an easy job to do. Thank you.
No, there's no cap being put on this, just so you know. Just a due process, no cap. Anyone else care to speak?
Good evening. My name is Courtney Johnson Suffern. I am from Englewood. I am the second vice president of the Bergen County NAACP. I'm here today to express my concern reading the recent social media posts, which I found to be completely inappropriate and containing racial overtones. The content of this post has caused significant hurt and disappointment within your community, and it is troubling to see that there has been no public acknowledgement or remorse for the impact that it has had. As a public figure, an elected official, your words carries great weight, and it is crucial that they reflect the commitment to fostering respect, inclusion, and unity. I strongly urge you to reflect on the harm that your post has caused and address it in a way that demonstrates accountability in a genuine effort to heal the divide it has caused. I encourage your mayor and your council president, who chose not to address this in their comments, to do the same. Thank you.
Anyone else care to speak? If not, I then will close the public portion. May I have a motion to, do we have executive, Mr. Counselor? No executive. Okay, so then just a motion to adjourn. All in favor? Good night, ladies and gentlemen.